While yes, working from home is great because I don't have to be restricted by office hours, which means I can do some yoga, go to the beach, and fit in puppy cuddles whenever I like. But being your own boss can be really hard. But since quitting my corporate job, I don't think I could go back to a 9 to 5 again. Here's why. Living the entrepreneurial dream isn't exactly what it's cracked up to be, but it is kind of fun. And since quitting my corporate job in 2017, I don't think I could ever do a 9 to 5 again. Hi, I'm Emiley and I'm a content and social media strategist, and I absolutely love helping small business owners create content and create a brand story online. I love working from home, but it's definitely not all the glitz and glamour that influencers will have you believe. But if you're in a position where you're thinking of quitting, then watch this video because I share my story as well as 5 lessons that I've learned along the way from quitting my job to now working full-time in my own business doing the stuff that I actually love. You might also like to consider subscribing for my channel if you're interested in inspiration and tutorials on content marketing, social media strategies, as well as videos on how to master an entrepreneurial mindset. So let's start at the start. I graduated uni in 2009 and I had no idea what I wanted to do. And you can bet that being an entrepreneur or a business owner was the furthest thing from my mind. I just wanted to get some sort of marketing assistant role, to get some experience in something that was mildly interesting. And I landed a job with Westfield in one of their shopping centres in Perth in Australia. And it's so funny because it's not a job that I even knew existed before I had it, that there was actually a marketing team in a shopping centre. Who would have thought? But that role was such a big turning point for the rest of my career. In 2011, I moved to Melbourne, where I continued in retail in marketing and then moved into the property space. So I started working for builders in marketing as well. My biggest corporate role in marketing in Melbourne was working for a builder in a team of about 15 people in marketing, which was huge. And then I went into a smaller building company where I was a marketing team of 1, just myself. So, which was amazing because I got to really, sink my teeth into it and make a whole lot of changes and strategies and really consult with our managing director about the direction of the company, which was pretty cool. Like, it was actually really showing me that I knew my stuff. But the thing I noticed with corporate jobs was there wasn't that much room for movement, even in companies where I was in a team of 15 people and there were people everabove me, but there was never any sort of room for movement. There was a lot of office politics. There wasn't a lot of development. Everyone was just kind of trying to just get on with their day. Everyone was really busy and I never felt like I had the opportunity to grow, try new things, or to really be trusted with the strategy, which really wasn't my jam. It didn't excite me. After sort of 6 to 12 months of being within a company, I would start to feel bored because I was like, okay, so I get this now, what's next? And there was no one there that could actually guide me. And I don't know why, but I think because I was working for another company that I didn't feel like I could take that upon myself and say to my boss and say, hey, I want to learn this and I want to learn that, and put myself out there. I was only 26 when I quit corporate, so I feel like I was still pretty young from that perspective. So in the last corporate job that I had, working as marketing manager for a luxury building company, I feel like that was my point where I felt like I'd reached the top. A marketing manager was always my goal since finishing uni. I want to be a marketing manager. But when I got there, it wasn't as buzzy and exciting as I once thought. It wasn't lighting me up anymore after, almost 12 months within the company. And I started to get itchy feet, but instead of just looking for another job, I actually created my first company, and I was building this brand called Chief Active, which was centered around creating basically a media site a community around healthy lifestyle in Melbourne. So I was running events and I was selling products and I was selling ad space and I was writing articles. There was so many different areas of this company, but it was so fun and I loved being part of a different community than I was getting in my office, because let's be honest, they weren't my people and I wasn't feeling that vibe, that excitement every day. So listen up, because this is lesson 1, and that's to start your business while you still have a full-time job. So why I say that is because yes, it's gonna be a hustle, it's gonna be hard, it's gonna mean you're gonna be working on your new business outside of work hours, so at night times, weekends, in your lunch break, you know, making use of as much time as you can. But in doing so, you have no pressure for that business to perform, and you can take things really slowly and not try and put all your eggs in one basket straight away. I know a lot of other influencers on YouTube or also in blogs and things like that say, just quit. If you're hating it, just quit. But I'd highly recommend you try and stick it out. Try and stay full-time. I, however, went part-time. My job was getting really boring and I didn't feel like there was enough work for me to do. So I decided to go part-time, asked my manager, and they agreed, which was great. So I could start my business. But at that point, I hadn't even proven the concept. I hadn't built the website. I hadn't started engaging with people. I'd already made the call to go part-time before I'd done all that stuff. So that meant that I had this pressure that it needed to work because I'd already agreed to part-time. And the worst part of it was I'd agreed with my manager that we'd see how it went for 6 months. And in 6 months' time, we would reassess. Little did I know that in his mind that meant we would get you to leave the company, basically, which I wasn't ready for when that 6 months came up, but I felt the pressure that I kind of had to leave, which meant going into my business full time. So lesson 2 is once you've started your business with a full-time job, once you start to get a little bit of momentum, go part-time. So while I'm saying I didn't do it in quite the right order, I still am really happy that I was able to do part-time for at least 6 months to start with, because when you can go part-time, either in your current role or if you can find another role where you can go part-time, it's going to help you from the perspective of just going, I know I've got money coming in, let's make this business work. Now we've got a bit of momentum going, how do we build and grow until I can actually take this as a full-time job? So at first, when I quit my job, it was the most liberating feeling. I was starting to resent my work that I was doing for that company. It was really boring and the people weren't really engaging. So I was really excited because I was able to go to events during the day. I was able to go to a yoga class at 9:30 in the morning and go for lots of coffee dates with different business owners. And that was the stuff that was really exciting to me. But the problem was I was really struggling to make this business actually work from the sense of it actually make money. So are you ready for it? Here is lesson 3, and that's understand your purpose. Now, this is something I've harped on about on my YouTube channel. You can watch one of my latest videos about this right up there. But it's so important, and this was a critical step that I forgot. I completely missed this step. And I think in not understanding what the purpose was for the brand, where I saw it going, that I didn't believe in myself enough to invest money into it. I was like investing so much time, but the time just wasn't quite enough to build it into what I needed to build it into. And I felt like I was always chasing shiny objects. So, there was so much opportunity, so many different avenues I could take this thing, that I was jumping over here and doing some stuff over there, jumping over there, doing some stuff over there, creating events, creating a product, selling something else. Like, it was just so overwhelming that I wasn't staying focused. So when I tried something and it didn't work the first time, I would jump ship and jump onto something else, just continuously pivoting, which doesn't work. You got to think of this as an science experiment. When you start a business, it's really working out how your product or service is going to fit the market and reiterating that and changing little things and reiterating. and testing. And that's something I completely missed. I was basically like, didn't work. Let's jump onto something completely different. So on that note, lesson 4 is think of business as an experiment, because that's basically what it is. I am an overly passionate and optimistic person. So when things don't work, I just go, oh, better jump ship, better go do something else and move on to something else. I don't like that feeling of going, here's a failed thing and how can we massage it, make it better, put it out to market again, did that work? No, okay, and keep going through this process. And I think if I did, I would have had so much better success with the brand rather than getting it to a point where I needed to do something else. So you've heard it time and time again where people say failure is just part of the business owning process. You should just learn from this and that's all it is. This, my friend, is the hardest thing to get into your head and actually really believe it in your heart, because it feels like any failures that you have are personal, right? Especially when it's something you love and something you're super passionate about. And because when you work for corporate, you're always going to get that consistent paycheck. You can resent them as much as you like, but you're still going to get paid. You can hate your work, you're still going to get paid. So it's one of those things where you don't have that reliability of income coming in, that when things don't work, it becomes really disheartening. And it's trying to manage that and understand that, yes, business is an experiment. But hey, I digress. So back to the story. So after 6 months of working full-time on my business, Chief Active, I needed a part-time gig. I just wasn't making enough consistent income, and I was feeling lonely and disheartened and feeling like I wasn't part of, a bigger cause. So I needed something fun with a culture that was so great and full of great people and really inspiring, and that I'd love to go to work to each day. So I ended up working for Lululemon in their Melbourne store. I started off in a leadership role, which meant that I was actually leading a team, which was pretty awesome as well. It was something that I hadn't done before, even in my corporate experience. So it was adding another skill set to my bow, even though I wasn't necessarily doing something marketing related. I also found that working for Lululemon, not only was I working with this amazing group of people, and now I understand how they recruit such great people, something I can add to my business in the future, hopefully when I get to hire someone. But I also learned about goal setting. So here is my lesson number 5, and that is to set goals. And what I mean by that is not just business goals, but goals for your life. And because the really important thing is when you have your own business, your business becomes your life. And there's so many avenues you can go down, especially if you're in a service-based industry like myself, that you can really lose track of why you actually started your own business. You may end up working a lot more hours, get paid a lot less money, and you're like, why am I doing this? Believe me, I've been there before too. And when you understand why, which I talked about before, but your actual goals of what you're trying to get to, what does your vision look like in 10 years' time? If that's, having a big team and having a big corporate office, great. But if that's, working 2 days a week and spending the rest of the time at the beach with your family, great. But making your business decisions are going to be different if you go for, option A and option B, right? So it's really about getting clear on what those goals are. And once you get clear on that, you can start building your business. So while I was at Lululemon, I started my marketing consulting business, Emiley, and it was in doing that now I am doing that completely full time, as well as creating brand stuff like my YouTube videos to help build my personal brand online. So I am absolutely loving what I do. It's still not at a stage where it's super consistent, but I'm definitely working on that, and I feel like 2019 is definitely going to be my year to start building a regular income, which I'm really excited about. So I've learned so much in this journey. Obviously, when you're a sole trader and you've got no budget, you learn everything yourself. Would you have even thought that I'd never taught anything on anywhere until I jumped on YouTube and got my own camera, learned how to edit a video, and away you go. Nothing is too hard. You can figure it out. You can obviously outsource too if you don't have the capacity, but I didn't have any income coming in, so I really needed to pick up those skills so I wasn't, spending a lot of money all the time. So if you're thinking of quitting your job, here are my 5 lessons again. So lesson number 1 is start your business while you still have a full-time job. Lesson 2 is once you've proven your concept, get a part-time job to take the pressure away. Number 3 is get crystal clear on your purpose, because this is what will be driving you and your business. Lesson 4 is think of your business as an experiment, because you'll likely fail, and you know what? That's actually a good thing. And lesson 5 is set goals for your business as well as goals for your life, as this will ensure the business you're creating is aligned with the lifestyle of your dreams. While yes, people like Gary Vee promote that you need to work 80 hours when you start your business, you need to be push all the time, hustle. And yeah, you do. If you want a multi-million-dollar company with a team of hundreds of people and, a following as big as his, yeah, you do need to hustle really hard. But for me, I just want a handful of clients that I love working with, as well as some passive income coming in. So then I can take time away to learn new skills and to go to the beach and be with my family and be with my puppy. Like, that is the lifestyle of my dreams. So I hope my story has inspired you to quit corporate, but to do it slowly and to really take that pressure off so you can allow your business to grow organically. Because if you don't, and you put everything into it and it fails, it's quite likely you're just gonna quit and go back to corporate again and never try a business ever again. So do it slowly and just take your time and enjoy the process. So if you like this video, please give it a thumbs up and comment below with a yes if you are totally on board with the lessons that I've taught you and you're really excited to quit your corporate job. So consider subscribing to my channel if you're interested in content marketing tutorials and the inspiration, social media strategies, and girl boss interviews, as well as a lot of entrepreneurial mindset stuff. Lots of good stuff in there, so I hope you consider subscribing. So next up, I'd love you to watch What is My Core Values? That video is a really good one if you're thinking about quitting, because once you understand what your core values are, you'll understand the type of business you want to own. It's a really, really important first step. So definitely go and watch that one now. But that's it from me for today. So I will see you back next Tuesday with another video I know you're gonna love. So I'll see you then. Bye for now.